A bit can educate, a bite can inform, an insight can enlighten. Bits, Bytes, and Insights, where we seek to educate, inform, and enlighten our audience by celebrating individual passion, humanizing technology innovation, and connecting the dots. A big shout out to our sponsor, the Alliance for Critical Infrastructure Security, for the support and collaboration. Let's get started. Hi, this is Pete Tseronis, and welcome to the Bits, Bytes, and Insights digital forum, where we always strive and hope to convey how people, process, and technology are critical components to, as I like to say, moving the needle towards innovation, towards bettering humanity, whatever that phrase is. And I love talking to experts like my guest today about their path, their journey, and what it's been like along the way as a pioneer, a trailblazer. And that's exactly what my guest is today, Dr. Dena Haritos Tsamitis from the Pittsburgh area. Go Pittsburgh. My wife's from Pittsburgh. Dena, I'm going to read a little bit about your bio, but not everything, because that's your job to talk to our guests today about how your personal and professional journey has influenced the success you and those you've worked with are having and will continue to have. You are the director of the Information Networking Institute at Carnegie Mellon University, founding director of SciLab. We'll talk about that later, which spearheads efforts in cybersecurity education, training, and outreach, something that's near and dear to me. Fired up about that. You're also working a lot on preparing that next generation and focusing on things like equity and diversity, and we're going to get into that. And that's something that if anybody reads about Dena, you'll see as part of her DNA. Her experiences, both professionally and personally, have informed so much and influenced so many. And again, that's to me, without giving away the ranch, so much in terms of the recognition that I hope you do reference here, there, and everywhere throughout our conversation. She's a Pittsburgh Panther with a Bachelor of Science in Information Science. She's a Duquesne University Duke with an education, teaching, and distance learning concentration. And of course, she's a University of Pennsylvania Quaker, if you didn't know that, in higher education management. Beyond impressive. And my Greek sister from another mister. Welcome, Dena.
I've never had an introduction like that before, Pete. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to talk to you today.
Well, hey, I love talking to you whenever I travel up to the Berg, and I'm honored, and we're honored here at Dots and Bridges to do this conversation. And again, Dena, as we talked in the prep call, it's really about humanizing individuals and technology and movements that are happening, because I live in the Beltway. I'm down here, as you know, in the DMV. I've been a technology officer at the Department of Education, at the Department of Energy, and I've learned in my personal and professional journey that connecting dots, building bridges, and talking about whether it's education or technology, the impact that it's having on our lives, in cultures. We're in a globally connected world. Education and translation and teaching is critical. It's fundamental. And I know that that's what you embody, but that's why I'm, again, so excited to hear from you and to have your story shared in a little bit, and I mean a little bit, because folks, you could talk to Dena and listen to her lecture and just be amazed. But let's start there, okay? Your journey to Carnegie Mellon and what you've accomplished. Talk about that and how you kind of came into this. Yeah, cybersecurity. I know you're a technologist, but this desire to be a mentor and an educator to many.
Sure. So I've been with Carnegie Mellon University for 23 years now. And I have to say that it wasn't part of my career plan, but rather a result of serendipity. So the early part of my career was in Greece. I was an educator in Greece. I had an English language institute. And then I came back to the United States, continued my education. I was very curious about technology because when I was in high school, we didn't have computers. I think they introduced computers the year after I graduated. And so when I went back to school, I decided to study information technology. My undergraduate degree is in information science from the University of Pittsburgh. And as I was studying information science, I was very interested on the impact that technology has on society. And so when I graduated from the University of Pittsburgh and I joined Eli Lilly and Company as a systems analyst, I had a unique opportunity to do work on the World Wide Web. And this is in the early days of the web. Most people didn't know what the web was. Many people thought it was a passing fad. And to work for a global company like Eli Lilly and Company and to be on the internet services team to build the corporate website, but also to come up with a portal, so to speak, so that all of its corporate employees had access to learning resources. So I was the information architect of one of the first intranets. At the time, it was called ELVIS, the Eli Lilly Virtual Information Service. Everything had an Elvis theme. I crafted the Elvis handbook, which we called Priscilla, the Elvis companion Priscilla, to go with the World Wide Web. And we equipped with all of its employees worldwide with access to learning resources on the web. So this was, for me, the beginning of bringing together, merging two of the things I was passionate about, technology and education, and having an opportunity to influence how we go about our work and seeing the tremendous impact that it could have in that space. I wanted to have an even greater impact.
Dena, let's jump to today. You're at the university. I glossed over, but SciLab, the institute, or I'm sorry, the Information Networking Institute. What are students learning when they, or folks who attend or take part in this curriculum? What are they coming out with?
So I'm the director of the Information Networking Institute. It's a department in the College of Engineering, which offers master's level degree programs in information networking, information security, Internet of Things engineering, and artificial intelligence engineering with a concentration in information security. So what is unique about my program offering is that it combines computer science, computer engineering, and it brings and infuses business and policy concepts. And this is so important in the space of cybersecurity. So I launched our MSIS degree, our Master of Science in Information Security degree 20 years ago. So we're celebrating our 20th anniversary. And if you think about it, yeah, this was, again, I think in the early, most people weren't thinking about cybersecurity in 2003. But here at Carnegie Mellon University, my predecessor had already been very focused on creating a hub of cybersecurity experts here at Carnegie Mellon, and was able to recruit some of the most sought after researchers in the space to lay the foundation for what is our information security degree today. If you think about it, right after 9/11, what were we concerned about? Our national security. And our degree was launched in the fall of 2003. And at the time, if you think about what happened in 2003, the Department of Homeland Security was established. The first DHS summit happened in December of 2003, which I did attend. And that reminds me of another document at the time, which was the National Strategy to Secure Cyberspace. And when we were brought together in that December by Howard Schmidt, who was then the cybersecurity advisor.
Great man, great man.
Yes, great man, very much missed.
Yep.
We had experts from academia, from industry, from government together. And the conversation was around, how do we create a national strategy to secure cyberspace? And immediately, with my focus on education and having just launched our information security degree, and we're also celebrating the 20th anniversary of SciLab, which was launched that fall, which is our Security and Privacy Institute here at Carnegie Mellon. All of these things were coming together at once. It was such a momentous time in the field of information security and in the field of national security and in the world, truly, if you think about it. But when I think about the strategy to secure cyberspace, I immediately thought of everybody has a role in this. Organizations have a role, companies, small businesses, schools, universities, government organizations, and individuals, parents, teachers, children themselves, because everybody had access to the internet. So how do we as a nation come together to make cyberspace more secure? So from somebody who focuses on education, I thought, well, how do we equip all of these stakeholders with the tools and knowledge so that they can secure their part of cyberspace? So in addition to the MS degree that I had launched, and I created a My Secure Cyberspace portal to aggregate all of this information, all of this knowledge and access to the tools so that individuals could equip themselves with what they need to secure cyberspace. And I want to talk about very briefly a very important initiative there, a federal initiative not known as the National Science Foundation Cyber Core Scholarship for Service that we've been offering here at Carnegie Mellon. So I've been principal investigator for more than 20 years, and more than, I believe it's 280 students have received full tuition scholarships and stipend to support their cost of living while they're getting the degree, who go on to serve our nation. And we're one of many universities across the country, but we were among the first to receive the designation and to receive the scholarship. To be eligible to award the scholarship, we first have to be designated by as a Center of Academic Excellence by the National Security Agency. And Carnegie Mellon has received 3 of these designations. Again, this is something I lead for the university. The first is in cyber defense, the second is in cyber operations, and the third is in research. And because of these designations, we are able to be eligible to receive federal funding to launch many programs like the scholarship program, Gen Cyber Camps, makes us eligible to submit proposals for research dollars. And we have done so and have grown our program here, our research program, our education program, and the number of students that we educate in cybersecurity who go on indeed to serve our nation in the federal executive branch, as well as national labs and federally funded research and development centers. STEM is important. It is the foundation of many of these disciplines of study, particularly relevant to this discussion. But what I'm passionate about is increasing the diversity in STEM. And when I talk about increasing the diversity, I mean it both in terms of ensuring that we build a pipeline of underserved communities so that underrepresented minorities and women have the opportunity to study in STEM fields. And this, in order for this to happen, in order for individuals to be to come to an institution of higher education like Carnegie Mellon or any one of our higher education institutions, we really have to start at an early age, creating awareness of what STEM is, of creating an interest in STEM. And this happens, as early as preschool, in elementary school, in high school, and it's reinforced. It can be reinforced through mainstream media because these messages integrated into the minds and instilled into the minds of young people, it creates for them the possibility of this is something I can do. Seeing role models in this space, knowing that this is not a career reserved for somebody else, but somebody who looks like me, who has a background similar to mine, can pursue this and be successful. So again, at Carnegie Mellon, we have outreach programs that aim to create awareness of what it is to be in cybersecurity, for example. We have what's called PICO CTF, which are capture the flag exercises that are available to young people across the globe to engage in the cybersecurity exercises, capture the flag exercises online, so that they can be attracted to solving these kinds of problems and potentially pursuing careers in this space. The initiative that I referred to previously, the My Secure Cyberspace, had a game called the Carnegie Cyber Academy, where elementary school students and middle school students took on the character, or role played these various characters, and their mission was to secure cyberspace. They became, under the leadership of Omni, the cyber commander, to combat misinformation and MC spammer. So we have been doing this work for more than 2 decades in order to create awareness of the opportunities that exist in cybersecurity. And as the students progress in their education, see a program in cybersecurity, or if the field of cybersecurity is something within their reach, where they can see how they can have an impact on the world, where they can solve very exciting, interesting problems and be at the forefront of technology.
I love it. And I love it. And I love it even more because when I hear you talk, and I'm going to quote to the ONCD mission, the Office of National Cyber Director, the mission is to advance national security, economic prosperity, and technological innovation through interagency partners. We talked about that earlier. Guided by the president's vision as articulated in the National Cyber Strategy, ONCD is working to create a more equitable, safe, and resilient interconnected world in which every American can thrive and prosper. And I love that because for anybody listening, you do not need to have a degree or have 20 certifications. You need to go learn. You need to be able to translate, or as I like to say, connect the dots, and you will become that expert. But places like Carnegie Mellon and in Dena's backyard is not a bad place to start. So any comment on that, Dena? Because I want to close this out here because I want people to go read and learn about you, but I do want to end with some vision here of what gets you excited over the next year in terms of what you've built and where the institutions you work are going.
So we have a new degree in artificial intelligence engineering information security. So the intersection of AI and information security and how critical both of these fields are to all of the challenges that the world is experiencing right now. And you really can't separate information security from AI or AI from information security. So to develop this program, and we just launched it this year, our first cohort is going through it and seeing the opportunities toward the challenges that these students have the opportunity to help government, to help organizations overcome. But I'm really excited diversity is really, I'm so passionate about it because when I started in this space, I saw very few women studying. I saw very few underrepresented minorities studying in this space. And I have been able to increase the number of young women and of underrepresented folks, marginalized individuals come into this space. And why is that important? We know from research that when you have a diverse perspectives, when you have people with very different backgrounds come together to solve a problem, we know that teams are more innovative, they're more productive, that organizations that employ diverse teams are able to increase their revenue, their bottom line. And giving an opportunity for these individuals to come together to learn in this space, for me, has been the most fulfilling thing of my career. But it takes an effort, and I encourage everybody who is in a leadership position in an organization to really look at their organization and say, are we doing all that we can to increase diversity, to support it? So when I'm talking about increasing diversity, it's not just getting more women or underrepresented minorities to come. It's how can we not only recruit them, but be able to support them, ensure that they have a sense of belonging, ensure that they have opportunities for advancement, ensure that the organizational practices and behaviors are such that all individuals can be heard and supported and can be successful. So this not only stems from leadership, but I believe that every individual at an organization can affect change. Whether it's identifying a challenge that exists in their organization or an opportunity that the organization might not have considered, or when they see or witness microaggressions or obstacles to success for a particular group, that, you know, standing up and advocating for those who might not have a voice as prominent as yours. And I think if we all do this, that not only can we create more diverse organizations, but we can also be more successful. Those organizations can be more successful. And I've been doing this for the I&I Carnegie Mellon. I've seen my alumni, students who graduated from the I&I. When I started, we only had 6% women, and we have 46% women today. And I've seen women who were part of a group that I established called Women at the I&I, an affinity group for students studying at the I&I, who were so inspired by their classmates and the kinds of initiatives that we created around our space to encourage more representation and to support each other. They've gone on to their companies, their government organizations, and created similar employee research groups. So they've paid it forward. And I believe that each of us has not only the opportunity to do so, but a responsibility to do so that everybody can be included in this space and be successful.
Man, I can just sit there and stand up and applaud because I get fired up. You know, I mean, I do. I'm a Beltway guy, like I said, and down here there's politics around policy and technology. But when I get to come visit you and visit institutions, our national labs, that curiosity is inspiring. The authenticity of people who go to work every day to make it a better place is no disrespect to the place I grew up, but there's a lot going on down here in DC these days. But there's one consistency, and this is my parting shot, is education, 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 mentorship, mentorship, mentorship. You do that, you embody it. I'm blessed to know you, and I'm excited to know you, and I love reading about you and all the great things you've done. So thank you for sharing a taste, and just a taste, audience, of this amazing female and what she's doing for the world to pay it forward, to move the needle. So with that, Dena, thank you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure talking to you and sharing a little bit of what I'm doing here at Carnegie Mellon and things that I'm passionate about. And I hope that all of you listening and watching will come visit Carnegie Mellon. And if you're ever in the Berg, if you're ever coming to a Steelers game, by all means, come down and visit me.
I love it. Your time, stories, wisdom. You're a storyteller. You're a dot connector. Again, I'm very fortunate to know you. And to our audience, if you want to hear from folks, or you know of folks like Dr. Dena, I'm not going to mess up because I want to say it one more time. Haritos Tsamitis. Did I say that right? Okay, good enough, right? I got his Greek last name, but you know, I'm trying to work on some of that pronunciation. Please give us a call. What do you want to explore next? Go to dotsandbridges.com. Check us out on LinkedIn and X, formerly known as Twitter. And we want to continue conversations like this to educate, inform, and enlighten our audience. So thanks again, Dena, and we will talk again soon.
Take care.
Thank you for tuning into Bits, Bytes, and Insights, where we humanize the people and technology that catalyze innovation. And again, a big time thanks to the Alliance for Critical Infrastructure Security for sponsoring us today. Remember, you can find more Bits, Bytes, and Insights on our website, dotsandbridges.com. Stay tuned for our next episode. Until then, strive to remain educated, informed, and enlightened. This episode was independently produced by the Dots and Bridges team. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed are the speaker's own, and the mention of any organization, product, or service is not an endorsement.